Okay, and welcome to Dating as a Joke, where we take dating so seriously that we laugh about it. Today, I have Charmaine with me. And again, I say this about everybody, but Charmaine, I'm so excited to be here with you because I saw you perform for the first time at Backroom, and unfortunately, I've only ever seen you perform there, which means I've only ever seen 90 seconds of you, right?
Oh my God, that's so
Yeah, it's
true.
always at the feedback mic, but we are doing something together later this month, and I can't wait because I you've been rocking it, like seriously, like wow,
Thank
yeah.
you. I appreciate that. Also, Diana, you've been killing it since you started. So
So, but welcome to Dating as a Joke,
thank you.
and my
Thank you.
first
I'm excited to
question.
be
Oh
here.
yes, my first question, just to keep things light. What's your current relationship status?
Very single.
I love that. Not just single, very single. Okay, same girl.
Super single.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. I don't have to listen to your wonderful relationship. That's great. I've had a few of those, and I'm like, I have to sit here and be happy for them. Uh,
Uh,
okay, so to get started, one of the questions I'd like to start with is, there's sort of I've heard a lot of times that men don't like to date funny women. Do you think that's true or not? What's been your experience?
See, it's interesting because I feel like I've been complimented by guys before being like, you're funny, and then they like that about me. But since starting comedy, I feel like it's given me a different perspective because I feel like a lot of the guys in comedy, maybe some, I won't say all because that's generalizing, because there definitely are some that like a funny girl, but I think when their thing is also being funny, it can become a competitive kind of thing. And I see a lot of the guys who are in comedy who I've become friends with, the types of girls they go for, not necessarily very funny, you know?
Yeah,
So then it makes me think like, oh, guys like to say they like that, but then sometimes, well, I don't think they want anyone that they think is that is funnier than them.
that's exactly
That,
my theory. Yes.
yeah,
Yes. They want girls who have a sense of humor, but I think by funny they mean a girl who will
who
laugh at
can
my
laugh?
jokes. Yeah, good sense of humor means
Exactly,
that she'll laugh at his jokes, not that she'll make him laugh or make his friends
exactly
laugh.
that. No, literally, they don't. Yeah, I. They don't need you to make them laugh. They just want you to laugh at their
Their
jokes.
jokes.
That's exactly how I
Yeah,
feel.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. It's interesting because I had a conversation with somebody today that on a dating app, and stand-up comedy came up, and I have not revealed that I do.
Wait, have you guys met yet?
No, 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 no. It's
Okay.
very, very like we're still on the app. Like it's on Bumble. We're still talking on the app, and I am like, but I feel like I'm keeping this like secret. But I mean, he's like, do
Uh,
you make it out to
I
shows a lot? And I'm like, oh, you like to watch live comedy
almost every day.
every day, exactly.
But I feel like when I haven't been on the dating apps for a bit. Well, I re-downloaded, but I'm not on.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I had a picture actually. I updated one of my pictures to be me doing stand up, which I kind of regretted because then that became a talking point of
Mhm.
a few guys being like, "Is that you doing stand up?" And then it's like, "Oh, can I come to a show?" Which
Oh
I
yeah,
think is kind of crazy
yeah.
for like a first date.
Oh yeah, not
Like just no. I barely even let like people in my personal life come see me perform, let alone like a random man off of.
often.
But yeah, so I feel like the waiting, I feel like that's fair for you. You don't need to let him know right away that
Yeah,
you're.
no, and I'm not like he hasn't. Yeah, if it was more explicitly, but I'm like I've also stopped revealing very much information about myself. Like I used to be very, very chatty and like talk a lot,
Mm,
and now it's like, oh, if you're not asking me a question, I'm not telling you anything.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay,
Mm.
with that, let's move to our wheel. It's actually called the digital wheel of dating disasters. Uh, so I'll bring that up. We'll swipe it and see where that Okay, what
Ah,
dating app line or habit that instantly makes you swipe laugh?
um, one, if they're like too complimentary off the bat, it reads as that like, okay, you sent this to, it wasn't only me you sent this to. So, and then it just feels fake. So anything where they're like overly like, you're gorgeous. Oh my god, the moment I saw your photo, like that, no, hate that. Or when a guy, I find this a lot. I only really use Hinge, but on Hinge, there's a lot of guys being like on their profile off the bat very negative, just like if you're looking for this, this, or this, I'm not the guy. It's like relax. It'll be like I can't even think of a specific thing that they say, but just the energy of already being so
Yeah.
negative and like coming at it like we're fighting. I don't like that. And I notice I feel like a lot of younger guys are doing that. But then again, I don't really date younger or like my age really. But when I do open it up, I see those things and I'm like, I don't like this.
Okay, so you tend to date older men. Like how much
Yeah.
older? Like we're talking like 5, 10, 20 years?
Yeah, like I would say at least like it ranges obviously, but typically around like the 10 to 15.
You know, I can absolutely see why you would do that. Um, at
Right?
that at your age, yeah, at your age. At my age, it becomes a little harder. It's like I recently I was on the in the car and that song came on, "Man Twice My Age." That like I'm in love with a man nearly. Have you heard? It's a very old song. Okay,
No.
but it's a song. It's called And when I loved the song in high school, so of course you weren't even born yet. And I used to love the song, and it was kind of hot because I was like 18, so a man twice my age was like 36, like even in his 40s. But now I'm almost 50, so a man twice my age, yeah, no, not doing it for me. Or
No.
yeah,
But yeah, that's why because I do feel like the age range of like the mid 30s, early 40s, it's like they're old enough to be mature and like be a little more like know what they want. Because I feel like a 20, like I'm 25, a 25-year-old guy, at least most of the ones I meet, they're not thinking long term when it comes to relationship. They might be,
yeah,
but like not the reality of it fully. Like, so if the idea of like talking about marriage or anything like that, I feel like would scare someone
mhm,
that age. Whereas someone's a bit older is already like, I find already know. But then what I like about the 30s to 40s is like still has the energy and like wants to do stuff. So like you were
yes.
saying,
Hmm.
once you start getting a little more like the 70s, whatever, it could be like, okay.
But even I'm finding that hard with even men my age. Like I've tried dating men like in like say mid 50s, and the energy's not there
Yeah.
by that point. And you can't blame them because a lot of these men have been married, have had children, like they've had long careers, they're done. They just want to relax. Where I came out of being, not that I've come out of being a mom, but I've come out of being a mom of small children. I've come out of, all this stuff. And now that I'm doing time, like I want to go out, I want to do things. So I do tend to match with younger men, but I'm not looking for hookups, but I'm also not looking for a new husband, right? So
Yeah.
so it kind of depends what you're looking for, sort of what that sweet spot of people is.
Yeah.
But
And I've,
no,
sorry,
no, go ahead.
go ahead. Oh no, I was just gonna say like, but then again, I've dated older, and I'm like, I'm saying they're more mature, they know what they want, but it's not really the case.
Oh, no, no, not at all.
No, you're just like dating an older person with like none of the benefits, just all the cons of
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's a very like yeah, you can't base it on age alone, but you do start to see patterns,
yes,
right? Like I will date a younger guy unless he asks me, "So are you into younger guys?"
uh,
It's such a turn off, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah, no, not
feels immature. You're already
exactly,
showing
right?
your
Yeah, it does.
yeah,
It's just like if you're going to match with a woman who's almost 50 and I matched with you, then obviously, like if you had your age on there, then like, yeah. And then
yeah,
I also feel like it's a bit of like fetishizing it, right? The age
for
gap,
sure.
right? Like I've had that where they are just so adamant on talking about the age
Why
gap.
does it keep getting brought
Yeah,
up?
then I'm like, no, no. You go deal with your
Yeah.
mommy issues somewhere else.
Oh, so
Oh my
true.
gosh.
I felt that even from my end, dating, there's been guys who brought it up. I'm like, this feels weird. Why do you keep bringing this up? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Now you also said So you're finding that a lot from Hinge. Oh yes, when you were talking about the fact that they bring up things that they don't want. And that can be,
Mm-hmm.
and you're seeing that a lot more in that younger age group as well.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like the whole, the manosphere thing online of like, and like the up and down male. I don't know what it's tied to, but it just feels like sometimes younger guys just have like this, I don't want to say anger, but like this like
Anger. I mean, we gotta
anger
call it
towards
for what it
women.
is,
Yeah,
Charmaine.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like anger towards women.
Yeah.
And it's like they have this idea of like things that like women are gold diggers, they're all looking for this, they're all, but then they haven't even gone on a date in who knows how long.
Ever.
So it's just, yeah, exactly. Realistically, yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I do talk to some men who are on dating apps, and I mean, I don't know how they're behaving on the apps, right? Because I think that people do behave differently in person than they do on the apps. And, and I have some male friends who say they also struggle with talking to women and with, the types of matches that they get. And, I've heard of men who have gotten unsolicited pics from women, which to me is like, really? Like I'm
Yeah.
surprised, but they're saying, yeah, it happens and it happens a lot, right? So I don't know. We need to get rid of all the apps and get people to meet in person again and be
I'm fully
courteous.
against the apps. I'm against the apps. I'm not into the apps. I hate it.
Now, do you, being very single, as you noted, like, where do you tend to meet people?
See, that's the problem, Diana, because it's in person, and as of recently, like the past year, the only my main social interactions are all comedy
Oh,
shows.
yeah, it's all comedy.
So that's who I'm meeting is other people doing comedy, which is like not great,
Yeah,
because if something goes wrong or like it's you're always around it, it just gets very messy very fast.
yeah,
So it was that for a bit.
hmm
Not that I met multiple people or a lot of people
yeah,
or
but
whatever, but I quickly realized that's not great either. So right now it's just been nowhere. I've just been meeting no one anywhere. But ideally it would be in a ideally like comedy,
hmm
and not ideally comedy, but it is just since starting stand up as well, I noticed, oh, I think this is kind of my type of guy,
hmm
is a guy who's like who's into this as
yeah.
well, which is not great. So I'm figuring that out right now, honestly.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and and a lot of the women I talk to in comedy, it's similar because I would really love to have a partner who kind of understands the open mic grind and what it's like to, be coming home like after midnight, exhausted and working on your sets and, what it feels like to bomb and feel like crap. I think that's really awesome. But I mean, I've only been doing this for a little less than a year, and I did not have any idea how close the community is. So there's no, everybody knows everybody,
It's very concerning.
right?
You can't keep anything.
Right. I did not, I had no idea. So I've thought of that as well, is if you do date within the community and something goes wrong, what happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard stories, so many stories
oh
of people who are
really?
like, oh, you didn't know these two, they used to date. And then they were talking about them on stage, and everyone knew they were talking about them because it's just like that part of it. I can't. Everyone talking about your not only going through the breakup and already having the hurt of that, then have being forced to see the person constantly.
Yeah,
And then on top of that, everyone around you talking and
yes,
knowing the deep, there's so many ways that that can just end horribly. So it seems best to avoid that, but then it's easier said than done.
yeah. That's it. At least, I find that for me though, I find that like most comics are much younger than I am, married or gay.
Yeah.
Those are the three kind of categories that like, so it hasn't really opened that many options for me. It was the same thing. I was doing theater for a while and improv, and it's like, in the arts, that's all you get. That's all you get.
Yeah, that is so true. And even I don't know like I the reason why also I like guys in like comedy, not guys and just like some guys in whatever,
Yeah.
is because like they I like a like that's my number one thing in a guy is funny.
Yes.
I love a funny
Mhm.
man, obviously. So then you get to see people who are like really funny. Because like before I started stand up, I'd meet guys who are funny, and it's like okay, you're funny, but like I'm meeting people who are like
Really.
more yeah, like really fun, like constantly make you laugh, smart, and then I'm just like oh, what was I fully lost my train of thought with that funny. Oh yeah, and then when now I go on Hinge and like date a guy who's just like whatever, and then they're their idea of funny, and
Yeah.
and then I'm finding it very. I'm starting to find it like hack almost. I'm like, oh, it makes me cringe. Like, oh, he thinks he's so funny, and this is so beneath my. I don't know. I'm starting to have that thing, so that's
Yeah,
not good.
yes, but no, but it's true because I kind of feel the same way when I see somebody call themselves funny in a profile. My initial thought is exactly what you just did. I kind of roll my eyes, like, really? Like, are you really? Like, does your
Yeah,
mom think you're funny?
yeah.
That is
Like I'm
funny.
just like, oh, he'd be the type of guy to go to a show and think that he's funnier than the comedians on stage or something. Like I
Yeah,
can get up there, and then it's just yeah. Then so then I'm kind of turned off of guys in that way. So now I've just been in a phase where I enter 2026 thinking, you know what, I think I'm actually kind of ready for a relationship,
mm,
which is like not going with anything I've just said,
yeah,
but I think I am, and I think I don't. But now I'm kind of figuring out like where and how I'm going about that because I'm not actively dating. I'm not going on the app, so I don't know where I'm gonna meet this man.
yeah. Maybe he'll just show up somewhere. I mean, you're out, right? At least you're out because I have had friends in the past who are looking to like settle down, like younger friends who are looking, but they don't leave their house.
Yeah. I
Uh,
have a friend just like that.
so
She
that's
hates
tough.
the apps and she doesn't leave her house.
Yeah,
I'm like, you can't do both.
right. And that's the thing, like I work from home. So if I did not have other hobbies that get me out of the house, like where am I gonna meet somebody? Like I even get my groceries
Yeah.
delivered. I'm not even gonna bump into somebody at the grocery store. So
No, yeah, I do try to be outside, available.
yeah. Well, you're still a baby, so you've got a long ways to go and a lot of opportunities. So, but it's I think one of the difficult things for women in comedy, and maybe it's not that men don't like funny women, but I find that every woman that I meet in comedy is incredibly interesting, is ambitious, is interesting,
Mm.
right? Like everybody is either going to school on the side or has other jobs on the side, has other hobbies, has family, has all these things in their lives. And I think that it makes it intimidating maybe for men. And it's not that it's just the funny part, it's like the whole package.
That is a very good point. Because there are a lot of guys who prefer a girl who's like a little more like I don't want to say doesn't have much going on, but like where her focus is just
Yeah.
you. Like that's just like my whole
Mhm.
thing. I get what I fully. That's a good point actually, because it is kind of intimidating, I guess, to a certain type of guy,
Yeah.
not the right kind of
Not
guy,
the
but
right
to a
kind of
certain
guy,
type
yeah.
of guy,
Mhm.
it could be intimidating. Like, oh shoot, she has other stuff going on. Like she's not obsessing if I text her. She's not. Yeah,
She's out all the
and
time. Like I find
I
that,
do.
right? It's like I'm out all the time. Like, what are you doing? Right? And I was talking to this one guy, and every night I was like, "Oh, so what are you up to?" And he's just like, "Oh, I'm just relaxing. I'm just chilling. Where are you?" "Oh, I'm just on my way to Hamilton. I'm just on my way into Toronto. I just came out of a show. I'm on the way to another." Like every single night, and I'm like, I mean, again, that's not the right person for me, but in my mind, I was like, yeah, that's gotta be like, no, I don't like that, right? Like I can see how
Yeah,
somebody might not like that.
exactly. Just the way, like, also if I was with a guy and every night he was like, I'm just home, just every day home, not doing it, that's also not attractive. you know.
We talked about, I can't remember who was on. We talked about, I said one day, and I'll ask you about your icks because I was talking to this really nice guy. This was a couple of weeks ago. And then one day at around 9:15, he said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go head into bed." It was 9:15 p.m.
That's crazy.
What? Like, mics that don't start till like 10, 11:30 sometimes.
Tonight.
Yeah, no, a 9:15 bedtime's not gonna work for me.
No, because they say, oh, opposites attract, and I get that because I wouldn't want a guy who's like me.
Hmm.
I prefer someone. I wouldn't like a guy who's like likes to be the center or whatever. But there's other things where I'm like, well, opposites attract, but also like there's a certain level of
Yeah, but schedules need to
incompatibility.
align at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Let's go back to the wheel, actually.
Okay.
And
Oh,
what's the most unhinged assumption you've made about someone before actually knowing them?
oh, there's so I that's something I'm bad about. I make a lot of assumptions about people, which is not good. But like in terms of dating or just in because with guys, I
In terms
do.
of dating, yeah, in terms of like, uh, people you've met, maybe when you were on the apps or even just in general, like in general.
If I meet a guy and I see him around too many women, I do assume.
Oh, okay.
I assume a lot of guys. I This might just be past. I don't even think it's past trauma because I've never been cheated on or anything. But I do assume most men are hoes, and not even aside from like if I see a guy with talking to a lot of women, just in general, if I see a guy and I don't know, if like a guy's too charming, I just assume, oh no, it's working on me. This has worked on many others before. It's just, which is a negative way to go into things. And I always try, when I find myself making those assumptions, I try to be like, you know what, just be open until they prove differently.
Yeah.
But at a certain, you also have to be a little, have your eyes open, you know.
Hmm.
So I tend to assume the worst in men, which again, not great, but I go into everything assuming he's probably a hoe. He's probably done this with every. That is, yeah. It's a little unhinged, probably.
So, right, like it's hard because we go with this level of, we do, as women, dating, we have to have a certain sense of protection for ourselves, right? Like, and
Yeah.
one of the things that I joke a lot about in my sets is how naive I was when I started dating because I was with my ex since I was 18. So when I
Oh,
first got on the
yeah.
dating apps, oh my Lord, the things that happened to me, but it's because I just assumed the best in people all the time, right? And I didn't think, I thought that what you just described was not the norm, and it actually is. It's not the
Yeah.
exception. At least from I always say, I want to be clear, it's the type of men that I've run into on the dating apps, right?
Yes.
And I did start seeing patterns, and now it's funny, things like that don't happen to anymore because I've learned, right? But sometimes
Yeah.
you feel jaded and you don't want to be jaded.
Exactly. As like I don't want to be like that, but then again, I've been I've tried to be open, and then they end up being that way, and then it makes you feel like, okay, well, see, I need to be this way. But I'm trying to think if there's any other crazy assumptions I've made. That's just like the main assumption, which
Yeah.
I'm in 2026. That's another thing I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be more open,
Yeah.
more,
Yeah, cautiously optimistic.
yes,
Yeah. It is hard though. Like I can't, oh my gosh, what I'm trying to say. Like, 'cause you want to be open, you want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I think maybe the trick is just making sure that you're sticking to your boundaries and not making certain exceptions, but also, making sure that those boundaries are open enough that,
yeah,
people can at least, you're still giving people at least a chance to get to know you. And you can have your
yeah.
like, do you have any like non-negotiables?
See, that's something I need to be more intentional about. I haven't really thought about that, but I guess like I don't know if this goes into X kind of
Yeah.
thing, but I have certain things that I do now. I know I'm like, oh, if you're kind of like this, not really my cup of tea.
Mhm.
Not not really morals wise, but just like interests and hobbies wise. But
Yeah.
maybe I should. That's a good point. I should have some like hard, like these are my non-negotiables. Like, what are some examples of yours?
Smokers.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so I
yeah.
don't date smokers. I don't I don't date, and I feel bad about this one, but it's I don't date people with I don't even consider people with kids under the age of like teenagers.
Oh, okay.
And I did, and I made an exception, and it was bad. Like it was bad, and
Oh,
it's not on them. It just doesn't fit what I want, right? Your kids should always be your priority. I would think it was a red flag if I was dating somebody with young kids and they were seeing me all the time. That would be a red
yes.
flag too, right? So that's definitely a non-negotiable. For me as well, like hard drugs are non-negotiable. Um, and then there's just the things that I see on like a profile, which is an automatic swipe left, no matter how brilliant you look. Otherwise, anybody who's bashing their ex,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
The no dramas, like, oh my Lord. Like, they're the drama when they say no drama, right?
Yep.
My
It's
most,
that much drama is following you that you have to
yeah,
put it in your
yes.
profile.
I'll share with you my most unhinged no, which is Scorpios.
Oh, really? Okay. You're into like signs and everything.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not even that much. I have a lot of Scorpios in my life that I love dearly. I really do, but I would not date. And I see the pattern. I don't know what it is. Like, call me. I don't consider myself that woo woo. But if I see that you're a Scorpio, it's no. And my mega mega one. And I never thought that I would have to explicitly voice this one as much as I have for the last few years. Is anybody who is not kind to other people, no matter what level in society they happen to be at, or anything that falls under basic human rights that they don't believe in.
Okay,
It's like
yeah.
I do not tolerate even the slightest, like, yeah, no, done.
Okay, I'm learning my non-negotiables through you
Yeah,
now.
right? Like,
That's definitely one for sure. Yeah.
it's good to make like go through kind of a list of things that even like bug you or things, and or even start with things that are really important to you, right? And then
Yeah.
start going, okay, this is really important to me. If I was dating somebody who didn't feel the same way, is that just a difference of opposites attract? Like maybe he likes to run, you don't, but he can go running. I don't care as long as he doesn't make me run. That's
Yeah.
fine. But the other things, right? Like having kids, like, how they entertain themselves, like, right, how
Yeah.
they lots of different things. Even for some people, like I know a lot of people who like will only date within their own like religious beliefs, right? And I think
Yeah.
that's fair, right? Because especially if they want to start a family and things like that. Where for me, that doesn't really matter. I consider myself spiritual, and as long as nobody's going to be like, well, now you have to convert, that would
Yes.
be the only thing. But otherwise, like it's not. Yeah, it's something that I'm willing to explore. Yeah.
So even I would be like, oh, I would say no kids in general. I thought before I would say no kids in general, but I don't know that that's a full hard because then if it was a situation where the child was, like you said, above teenager and they're
Yeah.
not like, but then again, how old is this person that I'm dating then?
But you said you were
I,
if you end up dating a
that
man in their 40s, right?
that's true.
They could have grown kids depending on sort of what their lifestyle has been.
That's a good point. So I guess I would be open to that. I just don't see myself in a position to be a stepmom. So that's why the age thing would help if they were
Yeah.
older. But I do, I like that's a, I want kids. So
Mhm.
anyone who's like, I don't want kids or I don't want to get married, I definitely want kids and I want to get married. So
Yeah.
those are
Yeah.
two non-negotiables. Religion, I'm open.
Mhm.
Race, I'm open. The other things though, I want to do that. I want to actually make an actual list with like
Yeah.
what's important to me, what's not. I like that idea. Thank
Yeah,
you.
even looking at I did this exercise years ago, and it's actually quite difficult. And you can use like ChatGPT or something to give you a list of values, right?
Yes.
And it'll give you like 50 values. and then you narrow it down to 25, your 25 most important values. And then you take that list of 25 and you narrow it down to 10. And that's when it gets
Mm,
really hard. And then from those 10, you pick five, like the ones that are like, and those are like your absolute non-negotiable things, values that you should make sure that anything you do, whether it's your love life or your professional life or your social life, your everything should align to those five values.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that for sure.
Yeah, it's a very difficult exercise.
Yeah, because
Right.
I couldn't tell you what my top five values are at all right now. I probably could make some up and it wouldn't even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's funny because it's not like it's not rocket science or anything like that, right? But you need to be. This is something again that I like to pass my wisdom. I'm like, I'm getting older, and I like, but you have to really be intentional about some things, right? Like, and those things like, what are my values? What are my boundaries? What am I willing to accept? What am I not willing to accept? You kind of know those things generally, but to sit down and really, formally think about them and make decisions about them is very impactful, right? And then you know that you're
Mhm.
whatever you're doing, you're aligning yourself properly to things that will fill you.
Yeah.
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 And that's my lesson for
Yeah.
the day.
I'm just taking it in. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Relationship advice for the day. Um, okay, let's get into. I always lose track of time. I end up having such a good time with people. Okay, we are going to move into the this or that portion of the thing. So I'm going to give you a choice between two things. Try not to overthink it and pick one. So for a first date, would you prefer coffee or cocktails?
Cocktails.
For sure. Now,
Yeah, I hate a coffee date.
Now, do you accept because sometimes even drinks, like sometimes people think no, like unless I'm going on a proper like take me to dinner kind of date, but would you accept like just a let's go for drinks?
That's my ideal
Yeah,
first date. A meal feels like a lot for a first date.
I
I
agree.
get the idea of like you want a man to put in effort. I fully am like, I'm a little traditional in terms of like guy and girl roles with dating
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing,
Yeah.
but dinner's too much
No,
for the first
agree.
date.
Yeah, agree. You don't know. Like, do you want to cocktails? You can make it out after 20 minutes. Dinner, you're there for at least an hour.
Yes, exactly.
Uh, okay. Uh, what do you hate more, love bombing or dry texting?
Dry
Uh,
texting, which isn't good, but if I had to, I don't think I've experienced love bombing much really. No one's love bombing me.
well, the love can take at the beginning you were talking about, the over complimentary kind
Oh
of right
yeah.
off the bat. But I would
Maybe
also
I hate
take
love
that.
bombing more.
Yeah, but I'll take that over the dry texting because at least you can take the love bombing and not pursue it, but at least it was nice to hear it. Whereas the dry texting, it's like, oh my God, stop.
And I'm an overthinker, so the text, even when it's not that dry, I'm already like, oh no, they hate me. What's going on? So when it's dry, I'm like, okay. Yeah, no, I hate the dry
The
texting as
dry
well.
texting. Okay, so with that, would you prefer the voice note guy or the paragraph texter?
Paragraph. I hate voice notes. I'm not a voice note person. And so many of my friends are voice note people.
Yeah,
Love, I just find it so like, because when people start doing voice notes, like, I don't want to listen to you talk. I And then they just keep going
oh,
and
yeah. Okay,
going.
yes, that's true. Yeah.
I much prefer but the paragraph's too much, but I prefer a
You
paragraph.
prefer a text. Okay.
Oh
Pick your poison. Ghost or breadcrumbed?
my god, that's so funny you said that. Because I'm in a not in a situation. Okay, sorry, let me focus on the top. Which would I would rather have happen to me?
Yes. Would you rather be ghosted or breadcrumbed?
Ghosted. I mean breadcrumbed.
Breadcrumbed? Okay.
And that seems to be my forte, is what I seem to attract or go for on is
Yeah.
people who breadcrumb me.
Oh,
But
it's the
the
worst.
ghosting is horrible. I feel like ghosting is just so rude.
Yeah.
Like, who does that?
I'd rather get a text that says, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I
It's
would
not that
much rather
hard.
get that. Yeah. Do you have a way that you tell people when you don't want to continue?
Yeah, I'll usually say like, "Oh, it'll be over text and it'll be, "Oh, I just don't think I'm in the space for this right now." Or like, "I'm just not ready for a relationship right now." It's always something
Yeah.
I'll make it inward to me.
Hmm.
Like, I would never be like, "I don't think we're aligned," or "I don't like
Okay.
you." I won't be honest.
You won't be honest. Okay. Yeah. I use the I'm not feeling a romantic connection. I'm always like, I had a good
Oh, that's
time, or I've
good.
enjoyed our conversation, but I'm not feeling a romantic connection. And then take care. Take care is like my kiss of death.
Goodbye.
um, get more of those. I really would rather get a. It's kind of like when you apply to a job. I'd rather get a decline than not hear from them ever again.
Some closing of the situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, what's the nicer compliment to you? You're gorgeous or you're emotionally stable?
You're gorgeous. Yeah.
Okay, what do you think would be a better dating outcome? A great story or a great kiss?
A great kiss. I love a kiss.
Yeah. Okay, deal breaker. Sleeps with his socks on or still lives with his mom?
Oh, still lives with his mom. I sometimes sleep with my socks on.
Yeah.
I can't lie.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, how about this? Texting all day or one really good phone call?
Texting all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, a morning person partner or a night owl partner?
Night owl.
You need somebody to come who can
Mhm.
stay up through your shows, right? Or at least wait up for you for
Exactly.
when you come home. Uh, do you prefer being the planner or letting them do the planning?
Let them plan.
Okay. Uh, okay. To know this about you, just because you always look so great. Makeup free at home or always a little glam?
Oh, at home, makeup free,
Yeah.
always. But when I leave my house, I do like to do a little something
Hmm.
because you never know who you may run
It's
into.
true. It's funny. You may have noticed that I've been looking a little better as the last few months have gone on.
Not that you were never, but I did notice. I
Right.
did notice.
You did
Okay,
know,
Diana,
yeah, because I like the thing is I have this problem. Like I'm not the type of person that's like I can't leave the house if I'm not wearing makeup. My teenage daughter has been talking to me and she's been very stern. And she said, "Mom, you're not going to meet a man with no makeup on and your Crocs." And I could, and she's right. She's right. Right? So anyway, um okay. With that, oh, actually, here's one more: gym selfie or a car selfie?
the guy.
What do you prefer to take for you?
Oh, a gym selfie. I love a gym
And
selfie.
how about for a
When
guy?
I No selfies.
No selfie.
You should not be taking any selfies as a man.
Selfies just I don't know why guys can't take a selfie though. Like I don't know why they're not very good at it. And then but then you know what's funny? I'm
It's
suspicious if they're too good at it.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'd rather if a guy's hinge, his pictures are a little questionable. I'm like, I'll give it a chance. He doesn't know how to take
Yeah.
pictures.
But if the picture's too I will never swipe right on a guy whose picture's too good.
That's actually for the instant swipe left. That's something
Yeah.
for me too.
Or there's a urinal in the background.
Oh gosh.
Going to take a bathroom selfie, but you can't see the toilet.
Yeah.
Bare minimum you should do. Uh, okay, so that is actually it for us.
This has been so much fun. Thank you,
Sharmaine.
Diana.
Now, where can people find you?
You can find me everywhere at Sharmaine.ehi, Ehi, Charmaine spelled with an S. I have some upcoming shows. So this will come out the 28th.
Yeah,
I have a show at Free Times Cafe on the 31st at 8:30.
awesome.
I don't know what it's called, but it's there.
Yeah.
And I have a couple shows on Friday, February 6th, and Friday, February 6th at Desi Junction at 10 p.m.
Nice.
and Saturday, February 7th, also at Desi Junction at 8:30 p.m.
Okay, perfect. If you're watching this, it'll be in the notes, the dates, so you don't have to, go back and figure out what was said. I'll make sure that those get put into the notes. Charmaine, thank you so very, very much for joining me in that conversation. That was super fun. So great to get to know you a little bit better too. And I will probably see you at either a feedback mic or we are sharing a stage a little bit later this month.
Yes.
Okay,
Can't
thank
wait.
you
Thank
very much.
you.
And
Bye.
join us again next time on Dating is a